What's going on? What's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are well. What's good? What's good in the hood? What's going on here? Yeah. The facts guy, Billy was doing decent. He kept putting his head down for some reason. He was doing well. You know what? Hello, Danny. I hope you guys are well. Hello, the facts guy. Let a few of you join in and then we'll get cracking on with this. He was doing well. He was doing well. You know what? I was impressed. I thought he was doing well. Like, listen, man, I've had a few idiots on Facebook and stuff talking rubbish. Like, I had Canelo winning the fight 5-3, 5 rounds to 3. And there was a guy that started questioning me. Billy was winning that fight. What are you talking about? Hi, Richard. I hope you're well. And I was just like, mate, the fight, don't get me wrong, Billy Joe had a couple of rounds, but Canelo looked to me in control. Billy Joe managed to win a couple of the middle rounds, but Canelo, for me, the opening rounds, Canelo dominated the opening rounds. Billy Joe didn't do anything in the opening rounds, and then in the middle rounds he started gaining some rhythm and started winning a few of the rounds. But I had it at the stoppage. I had it 5 rounds to 3. Canelo, I don't know how you guys had it, but I definitely thought Canelo was in control. Like, don't get me wrong, Billy Joe was coming into the fight, but as soon as it was coming into the fight, boom, right uppercut landed, and that was all she wrote. That was it. Let's be honest. As soon as that punch landed, the fight virtually ended. And you know what? Let me put this out there, right? There's a lot of people that are saying. So Facebook user said, totally agree. BJS was put up a decent showing, but Canelo was just too strong. He was. Listen, firstly, what I want to get out there is that all the people that are giving Billy Joe stick, about him quitting, that is an absolute disgrace. The man got his eye socket smashed in. Like, listen, everyone's not a warrior like that. Everyone's not crazy that can fight on. I know Billy Joe Saunders made some comments about Daniel Dubois, and he'll probably regret that now. He'll probably regret that, making those comments, because let me tell you something, right? That's your eyesight. That's not a joke. That's your eyesight right there. That's your eyesight. You know, if he had, imagine coming out in the next round against Canelo. Imagine what Canelo would have done to him when he can't see. He would have got absolutely obliterated in that round. How can people talk about someone quitting? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, even Daniel Dubois, the amount of criticism that he got, like, the man got his face smashed in against a monster puncher. You know, the problem was in that fight, and I thought this may be the issue, guys. Billy Joe couldn't hurt this guy. Billy Joe couldn't put a dent in this guy. This guy is relentless. He's a machine. He keeps coming forward. I told you, he's an intelligent bull. It's very hard to beat someone like that. Let's go through some of your questions. Matt Smallridge says, retirement or weight class drop for BJS? Retirement, I wouldn't say retirement, depending on what's happened here. If it's really bad, then he may retire. You know what? I've never thought Billy Joe was the type of guy, Matt, that was in love with the sport. I think he was waiting for this kind of opportunity, and it was kind of one of them where he like roll the dice. If I land, the numbers, I land it. If I'm not, then I won't be surprised if he walks away, but I would like to see him back down at middleweight. I agree. He's not a super middleweight. He can't match. Honestly, if I'm honest with you guys, I don't know whether he would have beaten Callum Smith. I think those guys might have been too big for him. I don't think he's fast enough there. I don't think he's slick enough at that weight. Canelo was landing a lot of shots. Don't get me wrong, Canelo missed, but Canelo landed too many punches for me. And I did say that if Canelo lands as many punches as he did on Smith, this won't go the distance. Canelo will do some serious damage on Billy Joe. And I think we saw what happened. Richard Brown says, have you seen the video of Eubank laughing at BJS loss? I think it's classless, really. I think it's classless, Richard. I think it's not right. It's not right. Listen, I can understand they both don't like each other, but that sort of stuff, like I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Don't get me wrong. Billy Joe is out there, and Billy Joe does talk a lot. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with a guy going out there, up a good fight, great fight, putting up a fight that was the best that he could have put up, and then you've got another guy that's mocking him at. Nah, that doesn't sit well with me. Do you think Billy has a good chin? Yeah, I think he has a good chin. I think he took some punishment in there. He took some punishment in there. You know what my only worry is for Billy now? My worry is what happened to Kell Brook. I'm worried that he may not be the same fighter. I'm worried that he may be damaged goods, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. I hope not. I hope not. I hope Billy Joe can come back from it, because sometimes you're not able to come back from that, and I hope Billy Joe can. I hope Billy Joe can come back from that, because it'd be devastating. It'd be devastating for his career to be cut short because of an injury. He put up a good fight, man. He did well. BGS go back down to middleweight, fight Eubank again, and then a world title fight. Middle suits BJS. Yeah, he is. He's not really a super middleweight. He's too. I think he's too undersized for that. Blessings, brother. Ain't no one at his level with this experience yet. Canelo's too damn experienced. He's too damn good right now. I don't see anyone beating him. Nowhere for him to go at super middleweight. Who's he gonna fight at super middleweight? To be honest, I don't think there's anyone to fight there. Who's there to fight? Man, I don't think there's anyone there to fight. I don't think there's anyone out there. If I'm totally honest, yeah, I don't think there's anyone there for him to fight. Caleb Plant's not going to fight him. Benavidez, I wouldn't. If I was Saunders, I wouldn't go near him especially after that eye socket injury. Yeah, listen, we've just got to wait and see what happens with that eye, because I'm a little bit worried for him now, because those eye injury, man, that's not good. It's not good news. You know what? Not strong enough. We were watching it all together, and we were quite impressed by Saunders' performance. We thought he put in a great performance. I was really impressed, actually. I thought he did really well. Like, when the fight started, the way it started, I thought, oh my God, he's in big, big trouble here. He's in big, big trouble here. Because, Canelo was backing him up, and it looked like it was gonna become one-sided, like a Callum Smith. But then Billy Joe managed to get into his rhythm and managed to win rounds. And I was like, whoa, is Billy Joe getting back into this fight? And then as soon as he started to get a bit of momentum, boom, the uppercut landed, and that was it. So Sergio Garcia says, probably not the time, but I would love your comments about Canelo saying to Andre that he has fought nobody. I found that hilarious. I think we're getting to see a bit of Canelo's personality, and I did find that quite funny. I did find that very funny. But yeah, I think he's right. Andrade hasn't fought anybody, and I thought Andrade was quite disrespectful. Him and his father crashing the press conference and then saying what they said, but then Canelo went in. Canelo wasn't holding back, and I think Andrade got quite serious. But I actually think Canelo was just messing around with them. Canelo was just trolling them. Canelo wasn't serious. Even when he was swearing at them, I don't think he was being serious. I just think he was messing around. But I think he was doing it to wind them up. Robert Harrison, Billy Joe did us proud from the traveling gypsy community in the United States. Yeah, he did well, man. He did well. He did it. He gave it all he could. You know what I mean? Well, listen, man, when you're up against someone like that, it's not easy. It's not easy. When you're up against Canelo Alvarez, who's a beast, it's not easy against someone like that. Believe you me, it's hard. It's hard, man. When you're up against someone like that, who's That guy's a problem. He's a problem. He's a very, very, very good fighter. And like I said, it's going to take someone special, someone special. I'm talking Sugar Ray Leonard special to beat him. Do you think it's time to drop points decisions? The scoring is so bad. To be honest, I don't know. I didn't think the scoring was bad. I had Canelo winning 5-3. So when you said, I don't think the scoring was that bad. But people were acting like Billy Joe was. I didn't see it that way. I thought Canelo was up in that fight. What did you guys have? What did you guys? How are you guys scoring it up until the stoppage? How did you guys have that fight up until the stoppage? How did you guys see it? How did you guys see that fight up until he got stopped? One loss mean anything? I believe BJS can do big things at middle. Still, there's big fights to be had at middle. Yeah, there are big fights. Yeah, there are definitely big fights out there for him. Definitely. I think. Listen, man, he just needs to get himself together, heal up, and then come again, come again. At least BJS tried, and Canelo is too good. No one beats him. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I don't think anyone beats Canelo right now. Canelo was swinging at air a lot in the early fight. I actually think Saunders was missing a lot. I thought Saunders was missing a lot of shots. I didn't expect him. I didn't expect him to miss as much. I think Canelo really made him miss and was impressive. But yeah, Saunders made him miss a little bit as well, especially towards the later on in the fight. But yeah, I thought Canelo was coming in, and Canelo just had that power. You always knew that he could detonate that bomb that could change the course of the fight. You always know that he could do something that changes the course of the fight, and that's the problem with Canelo. His punches are too heavy. He punches too hard, man. I think BJS is going to end his career like Austin Trout. Once he lost his soul on that ring, they usually lose their will. Possibly. Let's see. Let's see. Hope not. Imran, what are you having for iftar? Just again, normal chicken, chicken, egg, and normal stuff. Fruit. So Elite Doug Gaming says, how do you feel about Canelo embarrassing Andrade by calling him a horrible fighter to his face? I found that hilarious, to be honest. I found that hilarious. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. And to be honest, he's not the most exciting fighter to watch, is he, Andrade? But, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight down the road. Imran, do you think Andrade will beat Canelo? No. I think Andrade would get knocked out like Saunders. I think Canelo hits too hard. And I think he's too good a boxer. I think he's got a great chin. I can't see those guys beating him. I'll just be honest. I can't see it. I can't see him losing to those guys. Guys, everyone in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd appreciate it. Everyone in the live stream, if you can smash that like button. Canelo said BJS was a great fighter, but never gave Andrade any respect. Yeah, because I think Andrade's been talking a lot of rubbish. Even though Billy Joe was talking a lot of rubbish, but obviously he had shared the ring with Billy Joe, so he was going to give him a bit of credit for being in there. But Andrade, I think he's got something in for Andrade. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, hit the like button, bro. Out here putting in that OT. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, smash that like button, guys. I know it's a late stoppage, but I was wrong. I thought Saunders was going to win more rounds. I had Canelo 6-2. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, it was. I thought it was 5-3. But it was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. Catchy Boxer says, I had Canelo winning. I had Saunders winning 2 rounds only. Yeah, some people had it 2. Some people had it 3. On radio, they had BJS ahead on points. Yeah, I know some had a BJS ahead. I didn't understand that. I didn't see it like that. Found it big. I don't know how they had him ahead. I had 4 rounds each. Fair enough. Did Saunders quit? No, I wouldn't say he quit. He had a badly damaged eye socket, and I think that was the right thing for his corner to do. You know, he would have got that badly hurt and damaged, and I think they made the right call without question. Otherwise, he probably would have got badly hurt. You know, so I think the right decision was made. Canelo's son from Canelo's son from 1 to 4, fifth could go to either way. 6, 7 were Billy's round 8. We already know about that one. Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. Robert Harrison says, "How do you see the fight playing out if they went to points?" I think Canelo would have won the fight. If I'm honest, I think it would have been. I think he would have turned up the heat on Saunders and probably picked it up. Hachibok says trainer Mark Tibbs stopped it, and rightfully so. We love Billy Joe, not worth him going around with a long-term injury. When it comes, when he came, when he can come back, and he will be. BJ's got the heart of a champ. Yeah, he ain't going out like that. The only, the only, the only one that can beat Canelo is now too old. Golovkin, yeah, he is too old. Beterbiev, Beterbiev could probably beat him as well. Beterbiev could be a problem. That's a tough fight. That's a good fight. That's a fight that I would like without question. So that would be a great fight. What was Salman saying while the match was going on? I don't think he was saying a lot, to be honest. He was just saying that he felt Canelo was starting to dictate, and I think he felt that there was going to be Canelo was going to take over and start dominating, and that's what happened. You know, I think he got a bit happy when the middle round started. Seemed like they were going in Saunders' favor, and he thought, well, Saunders might pull this off, but fortunately, Canelo being Canelo, Canelo managed to turn the tide. He was in one of the videos. He was in one of the videos. Yeah, I think he was there as well. We were watching it together. We were watching it together. Canelo was a beast. Round 8, yeah. Hit him with that massive uppercut, changed the course of the fight. Especially when Billy Joe was coming into it as well. Would have been silly to let BJS carry on. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been damaging to the health of the fighter, because I think Billy Joe was in big trouble. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Smash the like button, guys. I'd appreciate if you smash the like button. All right, okay. After that performance from BGS, I feel Callum Smith can beat Saunders. Yeah, yeah. I think Callum Smith would have a great chance. Would have a great chance. I think Callum Smith is a big super middleweight. JMA84 says it makes Amir Khan lost look a lot better. At least Khan went out to a KO. I'm not saying BJS was a coward in that Canelo fight, but I think Amir Khan had more heart than Billy. Amir Khan didn't suffer a broken eye socket, so we can't really say. We can't really say because he didn't suffer a broken eye socket. That's a serious injury. So Yeah, I made comment on his shield. Put up a great fight. But Billy Joe put up a great fight up until he got stopped as well. So you got to give him credit. Watasan says he may have shut Billy's eyes, but he will never shut Billy's mouth. Billy. You know, Billy will never shut Billy's mouth. Fair play, man. Fair play. Listen, he put up a good fight. That's all you can ask him to. You can't ask for any more. You can only ask for a guy to do his best, and he did his best. What you make of Saunders bashing Dubois for quitting, bashing Joyce, but the same thing happened to him. Yeah, it was karma. It's karma. When you bash somebody and then it ends up happening to you, that's what we call karma, really. And I think he should have been showed a lot of humility, because you don't know when you talk about somebody, right, like that, it could come to bite you on the bum, and in this case it has done. So I just think you need to be humble. I just think, you never know when you might be in that situation, and it's all right criticizing somebody and saying I'll go out on my shield, or I don't care if I've got a broken eye socket, I'll fight on, I'm tough, I'm this and that. When you get into that position and you don't show what you were saying, people are going to give you a lot of stick for it. Because let's be honest, Billy Joe gave Daniel Dubois a lot of stick for that. And now he knows what it feels like to have a broken eye socket. He knows what the pain is. He knows what the kind of pain you go through. He knows what he was feeling at that particular point when the fight was stopped. He knows what he was what he was feeling. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, I don't personally think Saunders quit, but that's just my opinion. People may disagree. Apparently, Tyson Fury wasn't happy after and left soon after. Fair comment. On round 8, Eddie tells Canelo, this is a go get him. Fair comment. Apparently, Tyson Fury wasn't happy and left soon after. I saw a footage of Tyson Fury after the stoppage, and Tyson Fury just looked like he just went off. But it's one of those. It's one of those. Like, what's Tyson Fury gonna do? His friends just lost. He's probably emotionally drained, emotionally attached. Don't know how much. He was with Tommy. He was with Tommy Fury. But yeah, he didn't look too happy. Not necessarily might not have been about Saunders, but just upset that they lost. That Saunders lost. So yeah, I think it would definitely be upsetting, because he had a lot of faith in Saunders, didn't he? He had a lot of faith in Saunders, and he had a lot of faith that he would pull it off. But unfortunately, he wasn't good enough, really. When you think about it, he wasn't good enough in terms of Canelo was just too elite. He was too good, and just too elite. I don't see any of these guys beating Canelo. I don't. I know people may think that I'm biased or whatever, but I don't see it. I don't see. You tell me who you think is going to beat Canelo at 168, 160. I can't see a guy. I can't see a guy beating Canelo. I'm just going to be totally honest. I don't see it. I don't see it whatsoever. I don't see a guy beating Canelo. Canelo's just he's too good right now. He's too good. He's on a different, for me, he's on a different wavelength to these guys. And I just think he'll beat them all. I do. I think he'll beat them all personally. That's just my personal opinion. People may disagree, but I personally think he'll beat them all. I can't see anyone beating Canelo right now. He's just he's too good. But yeah, I just think Canelo for me has got so many levels to his game. He's so good. I just don't see anyone being able to stop him. Can you guys see anyone being able to stop him? I can't. So Jessica says on round 8, Eddie tells Canelo, this is it, go get him. Yeah, I think Canelo came back. This is what's happened, guys. Canelo came back, and Canelo told his corner that the fight's over. He's not going to come out. I've broke something. And you know what? When Canelo landed that uppercut that landed and hit him on the eye socket, right? Canelo knew the fight was over. Because if you look at it, Canelo started celebrating. Canelo started putting his arms up and he started celebrating. He started waving on the crowd. So he obviously saw that this man's badly damaged and he was going to go in for the kill. He had seen that that Saunders was weakening and Saunders was there for the taking because he knew he had cracked something. You know, Canelo felt that he had cracked something, and he said afterwards that, you know, I felt that the fight was over. So Richard Brown says apparently Tyson Fury wasn't happy and left soon after. I don't know. I don't know whether Tyson Fury was happy or whether he was just upset. We just don't know. Dubois even tweeted. I saw that Dubois tweeted Billy Joe, and I think there was a bit of a. Although he was tweeting him and wishing him all, you know, I think it was kind of a reminder that, you know, this is a tough sport. And I think what you've got to realize is you can act like, you know, whatever, how tough you are and stuff. You can act like that. But the fact of the matter is this is a very, very, very tough sport. And when you talk bad about somebody, just remember, you've got to go inside that ring. And there's going to be moments in a career when you're up against, especially the top fighters, that they're going to put you under the cosh. They're going to hit you. They're going to hurt you. And that's when we get to realize how much heart you have. And by the way, I'm not questioning Billy Joe's heart because I think Billy Joe's got a lot of heart. There's no doubt about it. But I just think Canelo showed he was spiteful. He wanted to hurt Billy Joe. He wanted to knock Billy Joe out. So for me, that way the fight ended was and listen, no fighter likes to, even Canelo, although he won what he was saying, I want to knock him out. No fighter wants to hurt anybody, especially a classy guy like Canelo. But Canelo, for me, he's different gravy, man. He's different. He's cut from a different cloth. Strong, powerful, good boxer, good mover. He's got it all. Good hand speed. He's got everything. Canelo's literally got everything for me. Billy Joe Saunders may never be the same after this Canelo fight. Yeah, he may not be. Look at Kell Brook. Was he ever the same after the Golovkin fight? I don't think so. I don't think he was the same. You know, it's hard, man. Once you get an injury like this, especially if it's you know, it could be career, like life threatening in the sense that, you know, you could go blind. So, you know, I don't know how much love Billy Joe has got for the game. It depends on how much he wants it. Is he gonna, you know, firstly, you want to see him back from this injury, this defeat, because this is going to take some, you know, mental scarring. He was undefeated. That's now gone. He's broke his eye socket, so that's going to take a while for it to physically repair. He's up against it. He's up against it. It's not, you know, it's going to be tough for Billy Joe moving forward. But I like Billy Joe Saunders. I think Billy Joe Saunders is a breath of fresh air. And I was really impressed by his performance. Believe it or not, I thought he had a great fight. I know a lot of people are going to be critical and say no, this, that, but I actually thought he did well. He did the best he could do. Unfortunately, the best wasn't good enough because Canelo was that good and that much better. He's got such powerful shots. He's got a granite chin. You can't put a dent in this guy. So how are you going to beat him? I don't understand. I don't particularly think. I think unless he moves up to a crazy amount of weight, I don't see anyone beating him at 160 or 168. I don't. I think he beats Charlo, beats Andre, beats them all. He beats them all. And yeah, I was really impressed by Canelo. I think Canelo's an absolute warrior, absolute beast. I can't see anyone beating that guy. Can you guys see anyone beating him at 160 or 168? I can't. Has anyone seen Tyson Fury, or how you support only when things are good, but when things are so bad, you vanish? Yeah, you know what? I think Tyson Fury is obviously upset right now. We don't know. You know, I don't think we should be speculating unless we don't know. I think Tyson Fury is probably hurting just as much as a lot of Billy Joe's fans, because I think Tyson Fury obviously wanted Billy Joe to win badly. He was one of his fans in the crowd, but unfortunately, or you know, well, not in the crowd, but you know, with the other peers to fight the champion. But unfortunately, Canelo was just too he was just too strong. He was physically too strong. He punched too hard, and eventually he wore Saunders. He wore Saunders down. Saunders down. And Saunders, for me, I didn't think the fight was gonna. I didn't think the fight was gonna last that. I thought Saunders showed a lot of toughness. I thought Saunders showed me that he's got a better chin than what I gave him credit for. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the live stream, if you can smash that like button, I'd appreciate it, guys. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Smash those like button, guys. Smash that like button. All right, let's move on. I bet Eubank is happy with his 10,000 bet. Yeah, he is, because he managed to he managed to win money, didn't he? Because he put 10,000 on it, and Canelo did force the stoppage. But I always thought that Canelo would get the stoppage. I think it was kind of a safe bet, because I couldn't see Saunders boxing Canelo for 12 rounds. It was just going to be too difficult, and I always knew that Canelo was going to find his cut off the ring, find his range, find his distance, and start putting some meaningful, hurtful shots, because those shots that he throws are very powerful shots. He throws them with a lot of venom. He throws them with a lot of venom. A lot of venom. When I mean venom, I mean he hits hard, man. He hits hard. And you know what? He hit Billy Joe with a couple of body shots, and I felt like Billy Joe felt those body shots, man. They at times they looked like it almost crippled him. Almost crippled him. What's going on, Raymond? I see your comment. You look tired, bro. I haven't slept. I'm fasting as well, so I'm low on energy. I haven't slept since the fight. I haven't slept. It was hard because I made videos, and then yeah, I haven't slept. That's why I'm knackered. So I'm gonna have a good night's sleep today. Yeah, and because I'm fasting, the fast don't open till like 8:30. So I thought I'd do a live stream for a couple hours just to get everyone's opinion about the fight. But yeah, I enjoyed. Listen, man, I enjoyed Saunders' performance. By the way, Raymond, if you're there, if you want to come on, I can send you a link. If you want to come on, share your thoughts. Is it me, or just BJS was in the fight? Only that one punch ended the fight because of injury. Yeah, he was in the fight. He did well. I thought Canelo was winning 5 rounds to 3. But yeah, that uppercut really landed and put a dent in him. And I just felt that basically ended the fight. It's basically like either, when Amir Khan 1-punch knockout, or this was exactly the similar. The only difference is, Billy Joe Saunders broke his orbital bone, so the fight was over because he couldn't see. So it was kind of like a 1-punch that just finished the fight. All right, bro. I'll send you a link now. 1 second. Let me just do this, guys. I'm just gonna get a guest on. 1 sec. Okay, so yeah, let's do this quickly. What am I doing? Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so I'm just gonna get Raymond on, and then we'll have a bit of chat with Raymond about this. Copy. Yeah, Ray, I've just sent you the link on Instagram. All right, so let's answer some of your questions. So, still would love Saunders and Eubank dust up. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Eubank and Saunders dust up. That'd be a good fight. Very good fight. I wouldn't mind it either, to be honest. I would definitely not mind it. Just gonna sort out this, get this all moved up. moved up and get sitting over here. Oh, just sort this out. Oh. So guys, okay, so let's get this better. Get myself in the screen. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get talking about this. I bet Eubank is happy with the 10,000 bet. Yeah, he made a lot of money. He made a lot of money. And to be honest with you, I always felt that Canelo would stop Billy Joe. I always felt he would stop him, to be honest with you. I just thought that Canelo's power, his punch variety, and I always felt, even though Saunders was doing well, I always felt there was going to be one punch that changes the fight. And in the end, one punch did change the fight. All right. How's it going, Ray? You all right?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing, fella?
I'm good. I'm all good. All good. Just a bit tired. I haven't slept, since the fight.
Yeah.
I haven't slept. Like I couldn't get to sleep because it was like 6, and then I recorded a few videos, and then I went back upstairs, but I couldn't get to bed, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's why I look a bit shattered. But yeah. What did you think?
It was the main event was a great fight.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a really good fight, for not just for the purists, but for the casual fans as well. Billy Joe Saunders did better than what I thought he would. The outcome was still the same. The stoppage was going to be coming no matter what. But it was the pressure that he put on Billy Joe Saunders, and I saw your video that you put on earlier on today, and I just happen to agree with it. Hands down, all these people saying Billy Joe was winning it, Billy Joe was doing this.
I can't believe it.
It was just shades of what Usyk was doing to Bellew. This is what these elite fighters do with the footwork, with the pressure that they put on. They make you think. And don't get me wrong, I scored a few rounds to Billy Joe. I scored him
3 rounds.
I had him winning 5 in round 6, and round 4 I gave even, because even though he was doing a lot of good pitter-patter work, Canelo was landing with some clean, hard shots to the body that were making Billy Joe change direction, making him think, making him drop his hands. And you could see that in the 7th, Billy Joe started to drop his hands, and it looked like he was relaxing. And how he has that sort of hands down, has a footwork, he has that sort of guard. But I think he was slowing down, he was tiring, and that was a trap that Canelo was setting for Billy Joe, to make Billy Joe feel as though, I'm in this fight here. Canelo's not busy, he's not active, he's not throwing as much not giving me as much punishment, he's not throwing enough shots. But Canelo was setting traps all fight long.
Yeah, he was. I was really impressed, to be honest. Canelo was really good. Brendan Jackson, if you want to come on, let me know, and I'll send you the link. If you want to come on, just let me know. Let me know in the chat, and I'll get you on. But yeah, Naeem, I hope you're well. But yeah, so what did you make about people saying that Billy Joe quit?
Well, if we're going to be technical about it, man, his corner pulled him out. So it was more the decision of Mark Tibbs, Ben Davison in the corner. But I can understand why people are saying it, because he was the first person to jump all over Daniel Dubois when Daniel Dubois had an injury.
Yeah, that was disgraceful, by the way, by him saying that about Dubois. Especially Dubois was messed up. Dubois' eye was bad.
Dubois was worse, but you got to remember Dubois was in with a heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dubois had it worse.
Yeah,
Dubois had it worse.
I had some guy saying that, Dubois was fighting an average heavyweight and Billy Joe was fighting a pound for pound great. Yeah, mate, he was fighting a heavyweight. He was 18 stone.
Yeah, heavyweights, punches, the power's worse, And what I would also say as well is Billy Joe's antics don't help him. So for those people saying he quit, well, you can I can see the argument. Although I would technically say his corner pulled him out. I can see the argument for people saying he quit. But look, you know, people will say. I mean, I've just seen Carl there come up and say we're not giving Billy enough credit. He won 2 or 3 rounds, but aside from that, and it looked on my card, it looked quite close, but you could see Canelo was breaking him down, and if it wasn't for that eye injury, he would have gotten out of there anyway because he had nothing left. The concentration levels, the lack of quality preparation that he had, the bigger ring, and he's never fought in a 22-foot ring before. That made it worse for him because he was using his legs more. He was being broken down there. And I think sometimes people don't see that when they're watching it on television. They just think, oh, Billy's moving. He's concentrating a lot. And that tired him, and that was gassing him. And he didn't have the power to keep
Canelo off,
Canelo off as well, which meant Canelo wasn't deterred and kept coming forward. So he was taking Billy Joe's best shots. And you got to remember, what's that going to do psychologically for Billy Joe? An opponent taking your best shots and walking forward.
Oh, we did say this though. We did say this before.
We did, and it's come to fruition, you know. And you know, he had success for 2-3 rounds, but Amir Khan had success for pretty much all the rounds until you know, maybe round 5, and then he was stopped in round 6, wasn't he, Khan?
Yeah. I personally
round 5, and then he got stopped. Yeah.
I thought Khan, in terms of, like, I was speaking to my dad earlier. My dad said the Khan fight was actually Khan won virtually all. I know the judges didn't have him, but judges don't have anyone beating Canelo. But he virtually won. I felt he won virtually. Even Teddy Atlas, Freddie Roach, Paulie Malignaggi, they all thought Khan won virtually every round.
Yeah, because he did.
Whereas this fight was quite close, like in the sense that it was close in the sense that even the Khan fight, I always felt Canelo was going to win, even though Khan was winning, like winning the rounds. I knew Canelo was going to win. But this fight, I felt like, you know how you were talking about like the elite fighters? I just felt like Canelo didn't even break sweat. I felt like Billy Joe was having a very tough fight in there. But I don't think Canelo was having a very tough fight. I think Canelo could just be like, all right, I'm going to step it up. And I'm gonna start picking it up and start landing those big bombs. And you always felt that Billy Joe was like one big shot away from disaster. Even though he looked like he was taking a good shot, he took some big shots. But you just felt that, you know, like you get the feeling with Wilder. Although Canelo's not a one-punch knockout artist like Wilder, I just felt somewhere Canelo's gonna nail him with something that's gonna hurt him, and that was what happened. He nailed him with that uppercut that changed the whole fight, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I would say is that was probably one of Canelo's strategy. You got to remember, this is how he kind of fought against Kovalev. Kovalev was also beating Canelo to the jab. He made it look as though Canelo wasn't doing anything in that fight, but actually Canelo was doing a lot psychologically and putting a lot of pressure on Kovalev. Kovalev got exhausted, and then he took him out with a one shot. Canelo only needs the one shot when he's done what he needs to do in that ring, and that's what he did to Billy Joe. He gave Billy Joe that false sense of security Bellew talked about against Usyk, that I'm doing all right here, and then all of a sudden, bam! Before you know it, you make a mistake. And this is the difference between your 2-weight world champions who are good, like Billy Joe. No one's saying he's not a good fighter here, but against your very elite level. You know, and people, you know, you can say that Billy Joe, he popped his jab and he moved around, but he was exhausted doing so. Canelo knew exactly what he was doing, and he knew he would break him down, cut off that ring beautifully, and he did what he did.
So Carl seems like he's totally disagreeing with us. He says that he actually, I saw one of his comments. He actually said that he thinks that this was Canelo's toughest fight in a very long time. Yeah. But do you think it was tougher than the Kovalev fight? I don't think so.
It probably was in terms of well, you see,
I thought he was losing.
Kovalev was winning
Yeah,
that fight hands
that's what I
down
mean. And it went to round
against
11.
yeah. But I think probably he's probably the way we're seeing it with Kovalev is I wasn't expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting that. Whereas Canelo was probably expecting this from Billy Joe. He was probably thinking, look, I'm gonna have to, maybe lose the early rounds or the middle rounds, but then he would take over. So I think that's the difference. It's the expectations. Because Billy Joe we all knew would move more. That was his best chance of winning that fight. But it needs to be said again and again. He broke down Billy Joe. This wasn't a case of he caught Billy Joe with a lucky punch and that was it. Or people saying if it wasn't for that, Billy Joe would have went on the run. No chance because he was exhausted.
So a lot of people saying in the comments he quit. He didn't want to come back out. Some people are saying that they had Kovalev winning that fight, but the judges didn't have Kovalev winning. I think judges had Canelo up in that fight. But yeah, I thought Kovalev was up. But
Canelo was winning that fight. Yeah.
But Canelo found that right hand that completely flattened him. He's a light heavyweight.
Yeah. That's that deceiving power. I mean, we all say that Canelo isn't a concussive puncher, but because of his tactics in the ring, the pressure he puts on his opponent, they're exhausted. So he lands clean and a hurtful shots. And his body puncher was doing a lot of damage to Billy Joe Saunders as well.
Yeah, it was horrible. Like, he's just very powerful, isn't he? He's very powerful, got a great chin. It's like, I don't listen. I think the quick comments, I think a bit out of order. I just think it's because of what Billy Joe said about Daniel Dubois, right? And the way, you know how like they went on before the fight, like all the other guys that came for a paycheck, and I'm coming to win. I think when you say these things, right, and then the fight ends like that, even though like it was broken eye socket, even my dad was saying that this is like, he never quit. That's a joke, people that are saying that. He goes, what do you want? Like, not everyone has the same threshold as a Margarito.
Yeah.
But look at Margarito now, he's partially blind in one eye. Look what he did with Pacquiao. Carry on. It's just stupid. Like, I just think it'd be stupid because he weren't going to win that fight after that 8th round. Canelo knew. Remember when Canelo hit him in that 8th round with that shot? He knew the fight was over as soon as he hit him. Did you see how he started telling the crowd, "I've got him"?
Yeah. He started doing all this. Yeah. He knew.
Because he went back and told his trainer he's not going to come out. I broke his face.
Yeah.
This is what he said in the post-fight, that he goes, I knew he wouldn't come out because I felt his face crack. He knew that he had damaged him.
You do with those small gloves. You feel it, and that's what. If you listen to some of the fighters that have come out post fight, they're saying, well, you do know when you've broken something in your opponent's face, but nevertheless, though, I still think that in terms of people saying he quit, well, let's be honest about it. Mark Tibbs pulled him out. And Mark Tibbs did absolutely the right thing. He had no other option, because if he had let him go on another round, it would have been so much worse for Billy Joe.
Yeah.
He's 30. Yeah. So he says, I think you and Ray are being ultra critical. Canelo was struggling to work Billy out, in my view. Great shot. And not saying he would have won, but he was nicking rounds. Well, I agree with the last bit. He was nicking rounds, but he was struggling to work him out. I think he that was part of his game plan. So I wouldn't say he was struggling to work him out. So yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
Okay. He wants to. All right, let me send him the link. 1 second.
Yeah. Someone just put on a comment about Canelo dominating everyone from between 154 and 168. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone beats him within those 3 weights.
No, I think he's too strong. He punches too hard. His boxing IQ is very good. He's got a granite chin. The problem is, you know what, with Canelo, Ray, it's the problem with him and Golovkin. By the way, I think Golovkin would have beaten Billy Joe as well. I think style's all wrong. I just think, how do you beat those guys? Because it's very difficult to outbox them for 12 rounds with that intense pressure, that power.
Yeah.
And then you can't hit him. It's not easy to hit him. He's so elusive. Like he made Billy Joe miss early on in that fight. He made Billy Joe miss. It was a joke the way he was making him miss. I was like, Billy Joe's not landing anything apart from a couple of jabs.
Well, it's funny because that first round, I was watching the when I was listening, because I rarely have the commentary on, but for this fight, I had the commentary on. I was watching on my phone, and one of the commentators, Mannix, I think, gave it the first round to Billy Joe Saunders. And I had to watch that round 2 or 3 times, and I thought, no, that was a genuine bona fide Canelo round. But to answer your point there, I don't know how you beat Canelo, because it's too different. You could probably outbox him for 4 or 5 rounds, but then he gets to you. It's no one can sustain that at 168, 160 for 12 rounds. Albeit Golovkin got the closest for doing it over 12, and he makes that many adjustments in the ring as well, because, like you just said there, his ring IQ was that high.
Yeah. I can't. To be honest with you, I can't see anyone. I can't see anyone in around those weight classes beating him. I'll be honest with you. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I just think he's too powerful. He's too powerful. His boxing IQ is gone to another level now.
He's getting better. He's getting more. He's getting better every fight. He's getting smarter every fight. I just think that his big challenges are going to be at light heavy, where he's arguably not going to have he's not going to be the favorite. He's not going to have those physical advantages, and he's going to rely even more on his ring IQ to make up for that. So that'd be really interesting if he steps up against the big 2 boys there. But definitely at sort of middleweight, no one's beating him.
Yeah, like people are saying in the comments that they scored it 6-2. Some people are saying 5-3. A lot of people saying that some people had Billy winning. I just think that first couple of rounds, I just thought Canelo won those easy. I don't think Billy Joe really did anything. But I don't know. I don't know what people were watching. I don't know how people were viewing. Maybe certain people's views were biased. But then Chris Mannix had Canelo losing as well. Or up
by a round or even by 2 rounds. I can't remember which one, but he had him losing. Carl Froch was bang on, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was bang on.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, definitely, I think we're all in agreement that he kind of won those, what we would call in 12 round, the mid rounds, but he definitely, the first 3 rounds, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders won a round. But he did start to come into it, and as he relaxed, his shots came off more. He was busier. He was popping out his jab a bit more. He caught Canelo's with a beautiful double jab. I think that was in round 5. And there were times, where he did make Canelo miss. And I can't remember I think you're going back to Lara, the last time when somebody made Canelo miss like that. So I think part of that was, again, similar to what Usyk was doing at the Bellew. And I say that because it was similar. I think people don't really understand what goes into that. They don't understand the type of pressure that's happening. Opponents. You can even go back in time when you look at Chavez when he fought Cesar Chavez when he fought Meldrick Taylor. That famous fight when there was a few seconds left. Chavez knocked him out, but he did that because he wore out Meldrick Taylor. Everyone thought because Taylor was on his bike, he was comfortably winning the fight. Yeah, he might have been winning it, but it wasn't comfortable. He was taking a lot of punishment in there, and that's the same kind of tactics that Canelo had. Yeah, you might run, but you can't hide. And when I catch you, I'm going to be hitting you clean and hard, and that's what he did.
Yeah,
wore Billy Joe down.
That was to me, that was a. It was kind of Canelo's, for me, is becoming a fighter where like you may win a few battles against him, but
you're not going to win the war. Yeah, you're not going to win the war.
It's just that he finds a way. I think it was a brilliant performance. I don't even think it was his best, to be honest. I think we've seen better. But like, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Everybody was saying that this is his toughest test at 168. If the toughest test is a guy being stopped in the 8th round, right? When Canelo was up, don't get me wrong, Billy Joe was having his moments, having his one few rounds. But Canelo was up at the stoppage for most people that I've spoke to. I know there's a few people that had a go at me saying that, oh no, Saunders was winning that fight. I genuinely don't know what people were watching when they say it was a close-ish fight, 5-3. But it felt like Canelo was gonna up the gears, especially his trainer said that he wanted him to go out there and put it on him, stick it on him. And you just knew that he was gonna stick it on him. And he was going to put it on him. And I always felt that he was going to up the gears and win that fight.
Yeah. He could tell he had plenty left in the tank. You could tell he had plenty left in the tank. And it was all part of, you know, his strategy in there. Like I said, he's done it with similar with other fighters. He gives them space, he gives them time, lures them into some false sense of security. Then he just picks them apart. You know, he's great at doing that. And he's definitely not much. Whereas Golovkin's a bit more relentless, isn't he? He doesn't give you time and space and he's on you. But Canelo allows people to win those early rounds and he takes advantage.
What do you make of it, Carl? What did you make of the fight?
Well, firstly, I think you two must be sleep deprived.
Why?
Because obviously we didn't see the same fight. I mean, I never heard so much of two Canelo fanboys in all my life.
Explain your side of it.
Go on, spin your views in.
Let's just get a bit of common sense here. And how about we watch the fight rather than listening to the Mexican crowds that are cheering every time and punch it's the gloves? I'd like to see how many of them punches that you talk about, power punches, and it knocked Billy back and it was all over the shop and blah, blah, blah. I'd like to see how many of them actually landed. Because I think Billy Joe was doing a cracking job on his defence. I do. So, great shot.
The stats show that he landed far more clean shots than Billy Joe did.
Yeah, we can all believe the data, can't we? Because it's always right. Not. So, what I would say is cracking shot. But I reckon the fight was closer than you two are talking about.
But when you say closer, what, 5-3, 4-4?
And this rubbish about Canelo had worked him out and Billy was never in the fight from the beginning. I'm sorry, but rounds 2, 3, and 4, Billy was starting to warm up. Three or four
not round 2 or 3. No way.
3 or 4 punch combos, catching Canelo with the odd uppercut here or there. You're always going to get hit back with Canelo.
Yeah.
But I'd like to hear what Canelo thinks about Billy Joe's defensive skills, because I think a lot of them shots were hitting the gloves. I take your point. It's still gonna use the energy up. And I've never seen Canelo have to move around the ring as much. So, you know, I think you've been a bit harsh. I mean, no way am I saying Billy was going to go on and win this fight. But I think you're being harsh on him. I think it was never going to win I predicted round 10 slightly out, but I think he gave a very good account of himself.
The comments section is not very kind to you at the minute, Carl. Are you reading some of the comments?
Well, maybe these people stop talking, stop typing, and get on and see them.
Basically,
I just think he was getting broken down in there. He was just getting, like I said, he was just getting broken down in there. Billy Joe
was having the odd bit of success, though.
Yeah, and that was evident, and that's why I gave him, round 5, 6. But you could see by round 7, he was taking too much out of him, Carl. It was, again, the same as
Ray, all I'm saying is the portion of the fight that we can work off.
Yeah.
I don't think Billy performed as poorly as you and Imran are talking about, where he's struggling to give him rounds.
No,
I gave him 5 and 6. So there's no struggle to give him. It's not as if I didn't give him any rounds.
Anyone on the side who said I'm talking rubbish and blah, 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 I ain't no pantomime villain. Jump on the camera. I'm happy to debate with you.
Yeah. It's not as if we're struggling to give him rounds. We're giving rounds. We're giving 2, 2.5. Yeah, 3 if you can give him round 4. Depending on which way you see it. But I think for every 2 or 3 clean ones that Billy Joe was throwing, Canelo was also hitting him with hard shots back.
I just think that was Canelo's.
He's had a he's had an issue with his thing. But yeah, I think Billy won 3 rounds. I think he won. I think he won 3. Some people had him winning 2. It was just the case that I don't think. I always felt Canelo was going to land that punch somewhere that was going to change the course of the fight. I always felt he was going to knock him out. I did say so.
I mean, I thought it was going to be a body shot, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I always thought it was going to be a body shot, you know. But when he came, he delivered it. It was, it was a beauty shot.
Yeah, it was. It was to be fair, that punch was a peach of a punch.
He timed it beautifully, and you know, he probably knew the way. You see, when I was going on about false sense of security at the start of the fight, Billy had his hands up. And Billy's probably not used to that. Billy likes to be in his flow and his rhythm, and he likes to relax, and he likes to be very flash, hands down. So when he started to box at his best during that fight, it was when he was in that position where he was relaxed, his guard was down, but Canelo was luring him into that false sense of security. So as Canelo's obviously working out that his hands are going down, that's when he saw his opportunity, got him tired, and caught him with that shot as he leaned in. But when Billy Joe was tight and tense, that played into Canelo's hands. Billy Joe's strength turned out to be his weakness. When he was relaxed and he was loose and his guard was down, that's when Canelo caught him.
I just don't think people are giving Billy enough credit. He got caught with a good shot, but I thought he did okay in them rounds. You got to remember who he's in with.
Do you think he quit, Carl?
No, I think Mark Tibbs stopped him from going out because it was a bad one, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah, it was.
It's career ending.
Look at where both fighters go now. I don't think the Caleb Plant fight will take place. It's too much politics. I don't think that'll happen.
I hope it does. Initial
thoughts are I don't think it'll happen.
Don't you reckon? What do you think, Ray? Do you think the Caleb Plant fight?
I think it will, because I think he'll take his time going up to light heavy. You know, he's on about I've got 7 years left. I don't believe him. I mean, you got to remember, this guy's been a pro since he was 15. So I don't believe he'll pack it in 7 years' time. But I think he'll take his time up moving to light heavy. So I think he probably will want to chase Caleb Plant. But Carl back on again. So Carl, if do you reckon if he doesn't get the Plant fight, who do you reckon he'll get?
I think he'll go for. I think Bivol.
What you?
Yeah, I think Bivol. I know people talk about dropping back down to middleweight. I mean, Eubank Jr. That wasn't very. I know what Billy Joe.
Disgraceful.
I know Billy Joe's been a bit naughty about Dubois in the past, hasn't he? And he put a few
yeah.
But Eubank's almost profiteering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I've
still got a bone me about Eubank because of how he was with Nick Blackwell.
Yeah.
And you got to remember his old man with what happened with Michael Watson as well. So if anyone should know, it should be Eubank. So I do think Eubank should basically zip it a bit, because he wasn't exactly keen to put pen to paper to fight Golovkin. You know, and
that's a possibility as well, Ray. That's a possibility.
Well, that'll be for next year.
Canelo.
Sorry, Triple G.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
Right, I thought you meant Eubank. Golovkin.
No. That'll be a cracking fight. That would.
Next year. Yeah, I mean, look, Golovkin should beat Murata New Year's Eve comfortably. I'm not too sure whether Canelo goes for that fight. I think you'll want to chase. I think you'll want to chase Caleb Plant. That's my opinion.
Imran, you're getting some comments in the side. You know anyone who wants to come and debate my opinion with me? This is what it's all about, isn't it? Last time I looked at the democracy and I was allowed an opinion. So if you want to stop typing and jump on, let's do it.
Yeah, I would love that. Come on, if you want to come on, Brendan, where are you still in the chat? I know you wanted to come on and give your opinion. If you want to come on, I'll send you the link. You're in my Facebook group.
It's all good banter.
Whoever wants to come in, yeah. But like, In terms of Caleb Plant, what chance would you give Caleb Plant of beating Canelo?
None.
No chance. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. I think where, and I can see where Carl's coming from in the sense that Billy, for those that hadn't heard of Billy Joe, they probably realise after he does a job on Plant. So I think he does a job quicker on Plant than what he did on Billy Joe.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I would say. But aside from that, I think it's a given. So I think they'll do Caleb's Plant's team will do everything to not make that fight. But he will do a job.
That's Canelo's levels above, so matchmaking him. Good luck with Eddie Hearn, because I'm not sure, apart from his mandatories, who's going to want a piece of that?
Benavidez,
possibly. Good
that's
fight.
A lot of people think Benavidez could be the guy that has troubles.
I think that's because he's tall, he's rangy. He's probably a bit more physically durable, but I think Canelo will have enough about him to beat him on points.
I don't know about you lads, but I wouldn't really want to watch Billy Joe versus Eubank again. Quite a few comments inside are saying they would. I'm not sure I would. I think it'd be a very one-sided affair.
Billy Joe
I don't know. The first time wasn't one-sided, to be fair.
But when I look at progression though, Imran, I think Billy Joe's progressed a lot more than Eubank Jr. has.
But I still would like to see it. Like, especially now, where does Billy Joe go now?
I think he retires.
Do you reckon?
Callum Smith. Yeah.
Callum Smith is the 175 though.
Not been officially announced yet, though, has it?
No, but I think he will. I think he will.
He has moved to 175.
I think he will. I think he'll definitely move up. But for me, Billy Joe, I mean, what do you make of there? 3.5 million, 2-weight world champion. He's lost to the very best. What else is there left for him to do? Because he's not going to get the Plant. He's not going to get the Plant fight.
Premature, don't it? Though it seems a bit premature to finish his career.
Yeah. Look, Imran, that was a bad eye injury. It's probably it's fractured in multiple places.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Be out for at least a year.
But like Carl said, he feels that Billy Joe would beat Eubank easy. So that would be a big payday for him. Big payday. We're talking. It's selling out 60,000 people. Right here in the UK, if Eubank can get that Murata fight, which I think Eubank could beat Murata. Don't you? I think he could beat Murata. I think he could beat, and I think that fight would be big if it was for a world title on the line. If he could beat someone like Murata, and then fight, if Eubank can get a Murata fight, beat him to the Murata fight, beat Golovkin to the Murata fight, and become a world champion. Then that fight becomes a big fight. I think Eubank would beat Murata, by the way.
The Golovkin fight's already signed, isn't it? I know it's 7 months away, but it's already done and dusted. I'm sure it is.
Hopefully Golovkin and Andrade can get a deal together, and maybe they can fight for a unification. That leaves Eubank an opportunity to fight for Murata.
From what I understand is Andrade says he's done with 60. He's going to super middleweight. That's why at the press conference, him and his dad were calling out Canelo. What he was doing in that press conference is beyond me, because he's got no right to be calling out them. However, right?
Is he relevant, Ray? Is he relevant? Sorry.
Well, there's a fight, because if Eubank, because he's got to decide whether he's a middleweight or super middleweight, why just let him fight Andrade? They're both saying nobody wants to fight them. All right, then fight each other. Because you got to remember these guys. Andrade's going to be stepping up to super middleweight. He's not coming with a belt. He's coming as a middleweight champion. He's stepping up.
Andrade's all wrong for Eubank, though, don't you think? He's all wrong. That's not a style that you want Eubank in there with.
Wow,
most people at the top levels are all wrong for Eubank.
Hey,
most people.
Neither of them can pop.
No, but fair enough. Like, I wouldn't favor him against Charlo, Golovkin, or what's his name, Andrade. But against Murata, Eubank needs to fight. Eubank needs to fight the certain right style. Like Murata, for me, would be a fight that he has a better chance in. Right? Andrade, I think he has more chance against Charlo. I still think Charlo beats him. But Andrade, that style is all wrong. It's not great for him. He doesn't do well against that type of style. against that type of slick mover. He doesn't do well, even though Andre didn't look too good against Lee. I think he looked. I thought he looked vulnerable.
Yeah, just listen to what you're saying, Imran. He was vulnerable against Liam Williams, and he's talking about going in with Canelo.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he hasn't got. No, Andre. I think Canelo would beat him quite comfortably. He was. Do you not think he was vulnerable against Williams?
That's what I'm saying.
That's why we're both saying he shouldn't have been anywhere near that press conference, because he had life and death really with Liam Williams.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
He ended up winning on points, but so what's Canelo going to do to him? And that's why I'm saying, although Carl doesn't like the fight, I think it's a great fight against Eubank. It gives him a chance to completely outbox and box his head off. And then you can start talking about going in with the likes of Golovkin, because he's walking around saying Saunders avoided fighting me. Golovkin avoided fighting me, and Canelo did. But these guys are like, no, we didn't. And Jordy is the one that's, in my opinion, not wanting to fight these guys. Let him fight Eubank. Let's use that as a yardstick to see how good he is at 68, and then put him in with a Golovkin, and then go from there.
Yeah. I still wouldn't mind seeing. I still wouldn't mind seeing Eubank and Billy Joe. I think it'll be a big fight. I think maybe if you don't think it's competitive in the sense that you think Saunders is all wrong, but I think it's. I think after that eye injury, like, we don't know what's going to be left. We don't know what he's going to be like. We saw what happened to Kell Brook. We saw what happened to Kell Brook, and what's to say Saunders won't suffer the same fate. When you get those type of injuries, it takes something away from you. I think take something away from him. That was a bad. Hold
on a minute, Imran. Paul, it's Carl with his C, fella. Thank you. Carry on, Imran.
Yeah, that injury, that eye socket injury that he suffered.
Yeah,
that seemed like a really, really bad injury. Like that didn't seem like a normal. That seemed like an injury that's going to take him ages to get back.
I would say more than
Yeah, probably. And then he's gonna have to consult, and then he's gonna have to have a warm-up fight. Is he gonna be willing to go through all of that after this? Not sure.
Not when he's been paid $3.5 million.
And Billy Joe's not been a guy that's ever been. I've never thought he was ever a guy that was really in love with boxing. Like, I felt like he was.
Well, he don't live the life, though.
Yeah, he's not going to be motivated, is he? And that's to go through another hard camp. Can you see him being motivated to fight somebody like in 6-8 rounder to see where he's at, and then going in for a big fight? No. And plus, he's going to be in that Who Needs Him club, because he's tricky.
Before this fight against Canelo, he didn't look too, like, let's be honest, in his last couple of fights, he didn't look too good. He didn't look great against Martin Murray, I didn't think, and I didn't look great on that YouTube undercard. He hasn't really looked that great, and then obviously
he did in the YouTube undercard.
Hey,
he was absolutely awful in that YouTube undercard.
And he wasn't motivated, was he?
But that's not really, like Andre Ward said. You should always be motivated for every fight.
But he wasn't, was he? I'm just telling you how it is.
No, you're right. What I mean
he wasn't, but he's and that's why I think why would he come back and have another fight? Why would he? He's not like, he's been well paid. He's lost against the very best. He has to look at it and think, I've won a world champ. I've been to the Olympics as an amateur, reached a pinnacle there.
I do like that Brennan Evening's fight, though. I do like that, but he's not talking about him, though, is he?
What, Saunders? For Saunders?
Brennan put me teeth in. Brennan Evening's fight.
For who? Saunders?
No, for Canelo. I do like that. That is a war.
Yeah, that is a good fight. Yeah.
But he's not talking about him, is he?
No.
Yeah, because he hasn't got that belt. That's why. Because I think, but having said that, I think if Benavidez had the belt, but here's the thing, Carl. Here's the thing. Everyone said before he was avoiding Saunders, right?
Yeah.
But his style was wrong for Canelo when he was avoiding Saunders. Now people are saying, oh, Saunders was hyped up bum, and he's now avoiding Andre. And
is that old saying him run into everyone's got a plan until they get smacked in the face?
Exactly.
Let's just be honest here. Billy Joe Saunders is not a bum.
Exactly.
No, there's levels to this. He's not a bum. He's not a bum.
But this is what I'm trying to say. Canelo, when you're at that kind of level, he's never gonna. I did tell you this before the fight, that when he beats
in around 1 minute, because Paul spelt my name right this time, so I'll answer his question. Carl, can you honestly say Saunders was not after a payday in the weigh-in? He looks nervous. He wasn't after a payday. No. I believe him when he talks about legacy. I genuinely believe that. So that answers that.
So
I don't think he came for a payday. I think he genuinely came to win. I mean, it was mind games about the ring. I mean, I said that, Carl. I said that was mind games. It didn't matter what size ring it was. It could have had a ring the size of the Atlantic Ocean. He still would have got to him in there. But he's not a bum. He didn't come for a payday. He came, he gave it his all, but Canelo was just far too good for him. It was levels.
Did you see that? Did you see that comment by Rome? He said, "Breaking news: Billy Joe Saunders requested a bigger bed in hospital."
Yeah, poor taste, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's gonna be. I think you know what I feel for Saunders. I've actually because of how he's been in his career. I actually feel. I hope there's got a circle team around him that can help him get through this, because it's gonna be the next months ahead are gonna be sticky. You know, Kell Brook went into that depression. You know, after the Golovkin and the Kell Brook, Errol Spence fight, he went into a serious, because he's gonna come under a lot of stick. I know it's unwarranted, and it's because of the things that he's done, things that he said. He's gonna come under, for me, a lot of stick. So he's gonna have to have the good team around him.
But I know you said unwarranted there, but some of it you could argue is warranted. I mean, if you say it's interesting that Dubois is now trained by Mark Tibbs. What people are forgetting is, Dubois had that bad eye injury, and he's Martin Bowers, who was coaching him. He obviously there was debates about whether he should have pulled him out a lot earlier. But the thing is, now he's with Mark Tibbs, ironically enough, and Mark Tibbs pulled him out with that eye injury. But Billy Joe Saunders was on an IFL TV interview saying, Dubois should have went out on his shield. So yeah, he's going to get stick for saying stuff like that. Yeah,
that I think. You know why I think as a fighter, you should be careful what you say, because you don't know you don't know what it's like in that situation if you've never been there.
It's a balance, because that's an important bit in, man. Never been there. Us three have never been there. These guys have. So the likes of Billy Joe Saunders, on the balance, he can probably say, "Oh, Dubois quit," because he has been there. None of us, even these guys on the chat, haven't. But having said that, if you're gonna fight by the sword, you got to die by it. So if he's gonna come out and stick his chest out and say, "I would have died on my shield," or "I would have went on my shield and died in the ring," then we expect the same from you. Otherwise, you know different from us who are having a debate on screen.
I thought it was harsh. I thought Daniel Dubois. To be honest, Billy Joe hasn't got the same stick that Daniel Dubois got. And Dubois was getting hit by a heavyweight. You know, he could have been seriously damaged. And he was fighting with that injury for quite a few rounds. And I thought, and he's a young kid as well. This isn't a guy that wasn't even in his prime. He's a young heavyweight. He's not in his prime, nowhere near. And he was fighting a very experienced guy. And I thought he was harshly done by, because I don't even think he should have been a favorite.
Imran, let me just stop you there 1 minute. Fight gamer, that's an outrageous comment. Billy did the UK proud. Come on. Not sure about that one.
I think in the ring, he, like I said, he gave it his all. Canelo was just too good for him in there. His antics outside the ring. If he's on it, because he might be on about his antics outside the ring, So I don't know whether you guys saw it, but he was interviewed by a Mexican.
That was disgraceful.
And I'd agree. If that's what he's talking about outside the ring, some of the antics, I would agree. But inside the ring,
because that's the way I see it. I mean, I saw Teddy Atlas put on a tweet about the way Billy Joe Saunders has behaved. He hadn't behaved like a champion.
What did he say?
So Teddy Atlas basically said something like, Saunders didn't behave like a champion. He also made a comment about the zone commentator saying, "I don't know what fight they were watching."
Cole Froch biased, didn't he?
Sorry?
Cole Froch biased.
Well,
yeah. People do ever to live biased. It's outrageous.
Yeah, he said. To be honest, I don't know what I didn't agree with him calling. Listen, Teddy Atlas is a guy that he's very outspoken. He says it. But in terms of calling Froch Price, Froch had Canelo winning that fight. Maybe
Carl Froch tells it how it is, Imran, doesn't it?
Yeah,
he's done it to Carl. He does. He's done it to other people.
He does. Yeah. But the fact is that maybe he felt that because of the way the fight ended, Carl Froch was saying he wasn't quitting and stuff. I think Atlas was trying to probably get in. He was trying taking his side, whereas someone like Atlas was saying that he didn't behave like a champion. Saunders didn't behave like a champion, which I don't agree with. I think when you can't win a fight, right, and you've busted your eye socket, Saunders wasn't going to win that fight from there, right? So why are you in there for? To get bashed up by Canelo, who's a very powerful puncher? What are you in there for?
The old demeanor of the fight changed after that one shot, didn't it?
Yeah,
he went into survival mode, Billy Joe.
He did,
that round.
Yeah,
it was game over.
Carl, that was equivalent to a one-punch knockout. Just the fact that he didn't knock him out.
It was a game changer, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That one punch was like the fight just finished. It's just that he was standing and he was just hanging in there. But he knew. Canelo knew. I was telling Ray before you came on that when Canelo landed that uppercut, he knew the fight was done. He started. He knew he had cracked something.
Yeah.
So he knew that the fight was a done deal.
There's lots of people saying that Khan did a better job fighting Canelo than what Saunders did.
But he's a smaller guy. I think he was a smaller. When you look at it like that, yeah, he was a smaller guy. He did well, but remember, Canelo's more experienced now as well. Canelo's better than the one that Khan fought. This is a much better version, I think. This is a stronger version. This is a guy that's.
I agree with all those points, but I also agree as well that Amir Khan fought world-class opposition for a lot longer and more consistently than what Billy Joe Saunders did, and sometimes that helps.
He's more accomplished.
I think maybe if Billy Joe's had a similar sort of resume at 160 or 168, he would have learned how to pace himself better. In between those rounds, he would have probably second guessed what Canelo was doing, but he hadn't, and no disrespect to Martin Murray when I'm saying this, but the likes of Martin Murray ain't going to prepare you for Canelo.
Yeah, I think that makes a big difference. And Chris Mannix on the DAZN said that before the fight started, that resume is a big reason why he was picking Canelo, because the resume is chalk and cheese, really. It's chalk and cheese. Who Billy Joe's fought and who's Canelo's fought. It was like
I think
very few people can jump levels like that and win. I've not seen many occasions where guys haven't really fought anybody and then they fight the pound for pound best. Maybe when Lloyd Honeyghan fought Don Curry, or when Sugar Ray Robinson and Randolph Turpin, but these are like one-off occasions, They don't really happen.
Carl, do you not think Billy Joe Saunders, if he does call it a day, will be kicking himself about all those big opportunities missed, for those big fights?
Possibly, yeah. He might have chased the Canelo fight a bit too long, to be honest with you. But then again, it was with Warren, wasn't it? And we've got our thoughts on Warren, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Were the opportunities there for him, Ray? We don't know. But yeah, I'd like to see Billy Joe carry on a bit longer. I think he's got a bit more left to give yet.
Yeah,
he's not the only one to have stepped up to Canelo and been took out, is there?
Yeah, loads out.
Yeah.
Man,
I just worry with that eye in these. Yeah.
You're not covered.
Yeah. He did, but I mean, he didn't damage Kovalev. Well, obviously the psychologically, but I just worry about the eye injury. Plus, Billy Joe's motivation isn't the best, and his hunger's not always there. So I just worry for him. Why risk it? Why risk his eye? Why risk his health if he's not motivated? Boxing's a dangerous game as it is.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough fight, because Canelo, like I said, I did say before that if Canelo lands as much as he lands on Smith, I don't think Billy Joe is going to be able to take the kind of punishment. And in the end, he ended up. He took the shots pretty well, but that punch completely shattered his socket, and that was that. I think Canelo
Wow,
was,
Imran, you've got to take that question from Jam84.
what's he
I
say?
was just about to say that one, Carl. Do you think
Do you
Canelo
think-
knocks out Iron Chin Eubank?
Jam84, you having a laugh? Do you want to jump on? Because I think you're a wind-up.
Richard Brown says, do you think Canelo v Joshua Buatsi in the future?
Buat's has got a lot to do yet, though, hasn't it? To get in the ring with Canelo.
He's a few years away from something like that. But Imran, what the lad's saying there, Canelo knocks out Iron Chin Eubank.
What, Canelo knocks out Iron Chin Eubank? I just think Eubank has got a good chin, but like he gets hit too much, and Canelo hits very, very hard. But Eubank is tough. I actually think Eubank isn't obviously as defensively as good as Saunders, so he's going to get caught with a lot of shots, and there's only so much you can take from Canelo. But I do think he's more durable than Saunders.
But where are we getting this Iron Chin stuff from then?
I've never seen Chris Eubank. I've never seen him hurt, wobbled.
But who's he been in with? George Groves hurt him.
No, but he took George Groves.
He hurt him. That's what I'm saying. He buzzed him.
No,
I don't think he's got a good chin. Don't get me wrong, but start saying he's got an. I mean, he's no Carl Froch, is he? Let's have it right.
I don't know. Carl Froch himself said that Eubank's got a granny chin.
From sparring,
who's got the better chin out of the two then?
But obviously, Carl Froch is proven and accomplished. You can't compare him to Eubank.
What I would say in response to that question,
put it this way, right? George Groves didn't knock Eubank down. He knocked Carl Froch down.
But he got up.
Yeah.
And he beat him.
But I think that was because
Eubank beat him.
No, but Eubank's not.
Underestimated Groves in that first fight massively.
I thought he buzzed him in the second fight as well.
In the
second fight,
he didn't throw him though. He didn't throw him. I mean, don't get me wrong. George Groves was a good puncher and he had a great jab. I think people are underrating George Groves a little bit there, but Eubank, I don't think he would go more than 3 rounds with Canelo.
Really?
Yes.
3 rounds.
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute mismatch. Absolute mismatch.
I think it's a mismatch.
I think he breaks him up in 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Market swords, because I'm saying it now. You got to remember, you just said it there, Imran. What we all know, he gets hit far too clean, far too often.
Yeah, Canelo is spiteful.
He is. So how can he last more than? You got to remember how elusive Canelo is.
Yeah,
Eubank only fights one way.
MMA boxing's on the wind up as well. Andre Ward would get murdered by Canelo.
No, I don't think so.
Andre Ward don't get murdered by anybody.
Great fight. I think it would be a good fight.
That would, both in the prime. That would be a great fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be great. So, would you say Canelo right now is in his prime?
Yeah. I mean, he's I would, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How far do you? So, if he beats Caleb Plant, what would you like to see him do?
I think he'll go up to like ever, but if I was him, I'm not sure. Just keep getting the big fights, whoever they are. Just keep getting the big fights. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's in a bit of a bang average super middleweight division at the minute, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah. Keep the fight. I mean, at the end of the day, he's made his money. He's been boxing as a pro since he was 15. Personally, I don't want to see him in too many more fights because what's he got left to prove? He's already.
The only thing I did like Ray, he was very humble afterwards. Once went to his family, went to crowds, and I thought he was very classy afterwards. I quite like that. I thought he's still quite humble.
Yeah, and that's what I like. He's been. This is the other thing about Canelo. If you go back to a lot of these boxers being Mayweather-esque in terms of fighting once a year, maybe twice a year, Canelo's been fighting. He's had 3-4 fights off the trot. That's unheard of against good opposition. I think for me, I would like to see him again. I would like to see him probably in 2 or 3 more fights and then call it a day. He's got nothing else.
Richard Brown's asking, how far do you think
Zach Parker can go?
Zach Parker, yeah.
Oh my. Richard, I don't think he's world level. I think he's very fortunate and very lucky. he's got WBO. He's where he is in the WBO rankings. I think Carl mentioned the point is because, well, yeah. I don't think his ability warrants him to be in that position. I think he's got a, still a fairly respectable promoter and Frank Warren to get him in that position.
He has a great
against any of the top boys at super middleweight, Zach Parker gets found out. That's my opinion.
Where was the other one? This is Prime Canelo and Unstoppable.
At 168 and below, I'm not too sure about light heavyweight. I think there's people that can
the Mexican fans are really getting stuck in. Billy I Quit Saunders. They get these Mexican fans. I think a lot of Mexican fans are not happy with what Billy was saying. In the post-fight, the way he was bad-mouthing Canelo. I think now they really
not all Mexican fans that like Canelo, do they? From what I'm being told, it's about a 50-50 split, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's quite, because a lot of the Mexican fans think he's cherry picking. They prefer Chavez, even Chavez Jr. to him, So, but I still think Canelo's got a lot of haters. I think his resume speaks for itself. So I think he's a top fighter, and we need to celebrate him while we still got him on top.
Yeah, I agree. Who takes his place when he retires? Who's the next? Ryan Garcia.
No. I tell you who I do like. I like Shakur Stevenson.
What, to take over Canelo? Like to be the next Canelo?
To be pound for pound star. Yeah, I like him. I think he's the only thing Shakur Stevenson doesn't have is proper power, but that may come because he hits you so often, he hits you so clean. Defensively, he's good. His ring IQ for his relative experience is phenomenal. So I like him. The obvious argument is Crawford, Spence, but I think Shakur Stevenson deserves a mention. I think he's got a real bright future.
Adam says he's boring af.
Well, it's because he makes it look so simple, so easy, and people start saying the same about Devin Haney. But it's the skills that pay the bills ultimately. I think people want to see your knockout artist, don't they? But I personally, I like to see skill. I like to see that ring IQ. I like to see flair, and the likes of Stevenson is really, really got that.
Yeah. So Richard Brown says, "How about Canelo v Gilberto Ramirez?"
Oh, great fight, because Ramirez is really big. That's what I'm saying. Those boys at light heavyweight are so much bigger than him, range, and they hit just as hard. So that'd be a really, really difficult fight for Canelo. Canelo, it could be one where Canelo gives away most of the rounds and then comes into it late on. But yeah, that'd be a great fight.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Canelo will send you back to the dole. Some comments coming in.
Might send him to the hospital on the way.
Yeah. That's not. I don't think Canelo's interested in Eubank anyway.
Yeah.
No one. MMA Boxing says no one beats Canelo at 175. I know you disagree with that, Ray.
Yeah, Batavia beats him.
I
think Bivol gives him a very difficult fight. Somebody just mentioned there about Ramirez. So yeah, there's about 2 or 3 names out there that give him a very, very difficult night at 175.
What do you think next for Billy Joe?
I think you'll probably come again, but I want him to retire, and I think he should, because I think he's 2-weight world champion. What else has he got left to prove? What else has he got out there? You got to remember he won't have a belt anymore, so people won't be. He's awkward for people, so people won't be as wanting to fight him. Even when coming off the eye injury, people will be like, "Well, why would I fight Billy Joe? Risk losing my title."
Yeah, I'd agree.
So it's going to be difficult. I said as well, if he was a dedicated fighter, if he lived a life, he could probably still do middleweight, but he might want to stick up at super middleweight. And I just think he doesn't have enough power and physical strength to keep these guys off him, which is why I think he'd be better suited at middleweight.
Well, yeah, I agree. I think him. How would you think him against Charlo? Who would you favor?
If it wasn't for the eye injury, I mean, that would be, come to think of it, that would be a pretty good scrap. Charlo, as you know, I've still got question marks on him in terms of how tested it is. But the same going to be applied to Billy Joe. So I'll probably have to say that would be a 50-50 fight if it was at middleweight. If it wasn't for his eye. But it's whether or not Billy Joe's got it in him to be dedicated enough and disciplined enough to go down there.
Charlo's a bit of a wrecking ball, ain't he? He's a strong guy that walks forward, and he's a big.
He is. So that's why I'm thinking that could play into Billy Joe's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, at Supermate, he may just be, he may just be on his bite and keep him off all night. But if he was to get dragged down to 160, that especially with the facial damage, Charlo can just get to him and probably end up stopping him.
Yeah.
So you can see the fight playing out in different scenarios depending on the weight or what have you. Yeah,
that's going to be a problem now moving forward. The eye, that's going to be a huge problem moving forward. I reckon. For some.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, hey, man, I'm gonna have to shoot.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just sort of my daughter, but nice to be on.
Yeah. Just let the subscribers know about your channel.
Yeah, I was just about to say, obviously myself and Carl that was on before. We're on Last Bell Boxing. It's on every Thursday night here on YouTube, 9 p.m. We have an open platform, just like Wellyman's having here, where we have the fans come on, chat in the sidebar. We have them on. We debate with the fans. We'd obviously be talking through the Canelo Saunders cards. We've had a few guests on our show as well. We've had Carl Greaves. We've had Lee Wood. We've had a few others as well. And we've got some more lined up in the future. So catch us on Last Bell Boxing on YouTube. And we're on this Thursday at 9. Imran's been on the show as well and is going to be joining us in the future as well. So you guys make sure to catch us on there.
Take care. I'll see you.
Take care, yeah.
Take care, and I'll see you soon.
All right, then. Nice one. See you later. Thanks, guys.
So, guys, what's going on? So, guys, let me answer some of your questions. Okay, let's answer some of your questions. Thanks, guys. Let me answer some of your. So, Canelo v. Eubank in the UK. I don't know. Canelo v. Eubank. I think Richard. I think Canelo. I think Canelo's too good for Eubank, to be honest with you. But again, it's a big fight. Andre Levy says Crawford v. Canelo. Crawford may be too small, but Carl Froch actually said that Crawford might be the only guy, or a style like Crawford might be able to beat Canelo. Bro, I just joined. What's the latest on Billy Joe Saunders? Hope he's all right, all the way from New Zealand. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. I think he's perfectly. I think he's broke his eye socket. We know that. And he's gonna have to take time off. He's probably gonna be out for a year. And it would be. I think it's going to be tough for him, but I'm pretty sure he'll make a recovery. And then I would like to see him back in the super middleweight division or the middleweight division. Brian Absence, are we still thinking Spence v. Canelo at 160? I just think Spence would break him down. Brian, I just think Spence would break him down and hurt him. Not Spence. Canelo would break him down and hurt Spence. Canelo's too big. And is Spence going to be able to keep Canelo off? These middleweights are getting busted up. These middleweights and super middleweights are getting hurt fighting Canelo. He's too strong. Shaw against faster hand like Beterbiev. Are you nuts? That Beterbiev would be a good fight, man. That would be a fight where it's 50-50. A lot of people favor Beterbiev against Canelo. I like that fight. Honestly, I like that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I want to see that fight, to be honest with you. I want to see him fight. Beterbiev. I think that would be a good matchup. I would like to see that fight. Canelo. So let's look at some of these comments. So Blue Corner Boxing says Canelo broke the door. Boxing attendance record and Billy Joe's facing the same night. Harsh. I think Billy Joe's getting some stick from the fans. He's getting some stick. But yeah, he did break the record in terms of the attendance. Canelo is the biggest star in the sport, in my opinion. He's an all-time great. We're witnessing greatness, guys. We're witnessing a star. We're witnessing one of the greatest fighters of all time. You know, Canelo will finish his career as one of the greatest. Roger Kalik says, Canelo needs to fight GGG. No other fight matters. I would love to see the GGG fight. That would be a great fight. I would like to see another guy get another. I would like to see one of the other guys get an opportunity because we've seen the GG fight twice. And GGG is getting older, so I would like to see something else. But GGG does deserve it on the 2 performances. And let's be honest, out of all the guys in the middleweight and super middleweight division, GGG have given him the hardest fight. And actually, most people thought he won the first fight. So that's definitely a fight I would like to see. So Drew on Letter says, breaking, Manny Pacquiao v Mikey Garcia almost done. How long have we been hearing that for, that it's almost done? When is it going to be officially announced? I'm waiting for the official announcement. I don't know what's going on. I'm still waiting for the official announcement for Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. We just don't seem like we're getting that announcement. It doesn't seem like we're getting that announcement at all. But yeah, I'm waiting for it. Hopefully we can get that fight. Hopefully they can get it on. I'd love to see Manny Pacquiao fight again, but I don't know what's going on. Raphael says Saunders may never come back. You may be right. Saunders may never come back. He has suffered a horrific eye injury, and listen, he may never come back. Hopefully he can come back because, you know, I think he's a good fighter. And he put up a valiant effort against Canelo. Canelo was just too strong and hit him with a peach of an uppercut that really stopped him and finished the night. You know, that was a huge uppercut, and Billy Joe couldn't see out of that eye. So, you know, how many Richie says, how many of those 70,000 all got COVID? God knows. So Raphael says, multiple fractures in the orbital area. That's scary. Is that what the report is? I thought he fractures his eye socket. Yeah, come on. I think people that were saying he quit, I think it's a joke. I think, you know, he put up a valiant effort. You know, he was just outgunned by a very strong Canelo Alvarez. And listen, when you've broken your eye socket, right? When you've broken your eye socket, what do you expect? What do you expect somebody to? What do you expect somebody to do? Come out and fight and end up, you know, damaging their eyesight permanently? Like, he was never gonna win that fight from there. So, you know, I think the right decision was made by the corner because he was only gonna get damaged. He was only gonna get hurt, and it was just gonna be stupid for him to carry on. Brendan Jackson says Beterbiev v Canelo is the fight to make. I like that fight. I really, really like that fight. I think it's a great fight. I think it would be a fight that the fans would enjoy. I think it would be a fight I would enjoy. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Canelo v Beterbiev. Beterbiev is a big dude. A lot of people think that Beterbiev would have a great chance in stopping Canelo. I like that fight. Honestly, I like that fight. I think it's a great fight. I want to see it. I want to see it. And I like I said, I think it would be a great matchup. Guys, everyone in the live stream, if you can smash that like button, I'd appreciate it. If everyone in that live stream can smash the like button, I'd appreciate your support, guys. Smash that like button, guys. Let's keep going on. So it says here, Drew Letter says, GGV Canelo, unfinished business. Unfinished business, says Drew on Letter. Yeah, I agree. There is some unfinished business there for sure. Imran, the eye socket is activity connected from cheekbone, skull, and internal bones. Skull looks like BJS's eye can still heal, but who knows if he will be able to move his eye. Ooh, that sounds serious. That sounds serious. Hopefully not. But coming back to the GGG v Canelo, three unfinished business. Well, you know what? Those two guys are made for each other. Those two guys are made for each other. For me, that would be an unbelievable fight. Canelo v Alvarez v Gennady Golovkin trilogy. It would be another tough fight. It's another decision. But a lot of people think Canelo might be able to stop Golovkin. Now, I don't know. I think Golovkin's so tough and so durable and such a good fighter that I think he could probably still go the distance. So Gail says, yeah, I believe Billy Joe leads in scorecards until he got caught by Canelo. You know what, Gail? I had Canelo up 5-3. Some people had Saunders up. I just thought Canelo was landing the more powerful punches. I thought early on, the first couple of rounds, I don't think Billy Joe was active enough. I don't think he was active enough. I don't think he was throwing enough punches, Gail. And I thought he won 5, 6, 7. And then he got hit with that shot in the 8th, which obviously just ruined the fight. But yeah, Billy Joe, listen, Billy Joe did himself proud. He put up a great effort. He put up a great fight. Just that Canelo's so powerful. He's so powerful. But GG is an old man. It doesn't matter if he's an old man. He can still fight and he can still give Canelo a rumble. He can still give Canelo a rumble. Fact, he wasn't an active fighter for all the fight of his life. He's got to get rid of Ben Davison. Ben Davison's not his trainer. Mark Tibbs is his trainer, Gimini. Mark Tibbs is Billy Joe Saunders' trainer, not Ben Davison. Ben Davison was just there in the corner. He wasn't his trainer. Eubank doesn't have any belts. He doesn't have any belts, and that's why the fight doesn't make any sense. Jessica, Andre, he keeps getting better every fight he is. Brian says, want to go back to the Canelo v. Lara fight. Officially, Canelo took the win. Did you agree with that decision, and why not? Just wondering. I agreed with that decision. I thought Canelo won the fight. I thought it was close. I thought, and I did say to people that I thought Lara was better than Saunders. I thought Lara's movement was fluid. I think Lara was a lot more slicker, and I thought Lara was harder to hit. Especially with headshots. Lara was very, very slick. Don't get me wrong, Canelo has got way better since the Lara fight. So it's hard to really judge because, like I said, Canelo is a different beast right now. He has got a lot better. He's a much better fighter right now. So obviously Saunders fought the better, more in prime Canelo Alvarez. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to move. But yeah, Canelo fought a much Billy Joe Saunders, fought a much better Canelo, and to be honest, you can't really compare because how long ago was that Lara fight? That Lara fight was ages ago. So to be honest with you, I give Saunders a lot of respect. He fought a prime Canelo, and he gave it his best. Unfortunately, Canelo's a different beast. Richard Brown says GGG had his chance. There's other big fights in there to be made instead. You know what, Richard? I agree with you. I think there's other big fights that I would like to see. We've already seen those fights twice. But Richard, on the other side of things, that GGG probably won that first fight. And let's be honest, he was probably the only one that gave Canelo the toughest fights where they were too close. I call it Caleb v Canelo. Gail, how do you see Caleb v Canelo going? Charlie Wise, BJS will be back to fight for the title. He's been humbled now, so be humble, Saunders. BJS will be back to fight for the title. What title? Where? At middleweight? At super middleweight? Where do you want to see Saunders back? Where do you want to see Saunders fight? Where do you think Saunders should fight? Is Saunders a middleweight? Is Saunders a super middleweight? What weight class do you want to see Billy Joe Saunders fight at? What weight class do you want to see Billy Joe Saunders fight at? GGG fought Canelo 2 times and didn't win once. I don't know. I thought the first time was BJS, go to middleweight and fight who? Answer these questions. Gypsies are proud people. I didn't think Billy would quit. I don't think Billy quit. No, he didn't. I don't agree with that. I think Billy had a very bad injury. He suffered a socket injury 4 different places. You know, that's a serious injury, you know. And that's a horrible injury, man. I wish him all the best. I wish he comes back. I want to see another Tyson within the next 10 years, a knockout king. What Tyson? Mike Tyson, what a fighter. What a fighter. Talking about Mike Tyson, what a legendary fighter. What a great fighter he was. A special fighter. Mike Tyson was unbelievable. Let's go down a little bit. So Canelo was pampered into the sport, but regardless, he's a great fighter. Yeah, he is. He's a special fighter. So Walter, my friend, Beterbiev is too strong, but no boxing IQ, or rather, not much of it. I still think that would be a tough fight. MMA Boxing says 50-50 Ramirez v Canelo. Good fight, Gilberto. Canelo too strong. I don't think Caleb could beat Canelo. Canelo too strong. Yeah, I think Canelo might be too strong. He might be too good, boxing IQ too good, and I think he'll probably beat Caleb. I think Caleb's fast hands, fast feet, and he's going to make it a tricky, tough fight without question. I just think Canelo's too good. Imran, that eye socket activity connected from cheekbone to skull and internal bones looks like BJS eye can still heal, but who knows how it will be able to move. Yeah, hopefully it can. Let's see. Deepak Singh, his eye socket is broken in 4 places. Wow. I wish Saunders all the best. Canelo 3 fights since the December, and it's only May, yeah. And then he's looking for a Caleb Plant fight in September. What a beast of a guy! Like that's what we want. That's what we want from fighters. Billy Joe, we love you, says Robert Harrison. Paul Mia says, rumor has it Eubank's team in talks for Eubank v Canelo fight in July. Bets on, boys. Caleb Plant, nah. Eubank, I can't see that Eubank fight happening. I think Canelo wants to be undisputed. There's no way he's going to want to fight Eubank. Facts, he wasn't active at all. He's got to get rid of. I think with this Ben Davison stuff, I think Ben Davison's not his trainer anyway. Mark Tibbs is his trainer, so he's not with Mark Tibbs right now. So, fantasy fight, Aaron Pryor v Floyd Mayweather. Who you got, sir? Floyd Mayweather. You know, Floyd Mayweather's, it's too difficult to hit that guy. Boxing. I say boxing pigeons. I say pigeons. Nice channel. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Paul Mia says Lennox smashed Mike Tyson. He did beat out of prime or old Mike Tyson. You know, that wasn't the same. The first fight was a majority draw. The second fight was 115, 113 split. What are you talking about? GGG Canelo. Oh, no. I lost 400 pounds on Billy. And let's face it, dude, abuses homeless people. I lost 400 pounds on Billy. Did you bet on him? Surely you didn't bet that much money on Billy Joe to beat Canelo. Charlie Weiss said, respect your opponents. Be like Joshua. What's your thoughts on Joshua Fury? I think Joshua's going to do what Canelo did to Saunders. I don't know, man. I think Fury's a different beast. To Joshua. I think that's a tough fight for Anthony Joshua. I do. I think Tyson Fury's he's an elite fighter, man. He's special. You know, I don't think Billy Joe's Tyson Fury. Completely different fighters. Raja Kalik says there needs to be a trilogy fight. There certainly does need to be a trilogy fight, and I would love to see that. Robert Harrison says rematch. That's not going to happen. Me and you, Robert, know that Canelo's not going to rematch Billy Joe. You know, the cash cow is going to move on. The secret, Brian says, the secret to Mayweather's slickness is bald head, slipping his... I think it's a bit more than that. Taylor v Ramirez. Richard Brown said Taylor v Ramirez. Great fight. Great fight. I'm 50-50 on that one. It's a close fight. Great fight. Who do you think wins, Richard? How do you see that one going? I had Billy UD like a fool. You know, it's when you're in there with Canelo, it's difficult to go 12 rounds, especially if you haven't able to keep him off. And I just don't think Billy Joe had the power. Eubank v Canelo 2022. I don't think that fight's going to happen. I think Eubank should target a Billy Joe. I do. I don't think that fight's. I don't think that fight's practical. If I'm honest with you, I can't see that fight happening. So, to be honest, I think Eubank should probably target. Eubank, in my opinion, should probably target Saunders, if I'm honest. Arthur Beterbiev is Canelo's big test. Yeah, he is. That's a very big test. Very big test. And if Canelo passes that test, you know, you may be looking at a guy that's probably, I don't know what you want to call him. Probably one of the greats, one of the greatest ever. He'd be taking himself to another level. Anthony Yarde says he can take out Canelo in 3 rounds. Please, no chance. Richard Brown, BJS v Eubank rematch, unfinished business. Yeah, I'd like to see that fight. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, that's not a great fight. I think that's a great fight. I think that would be a great matchup between the two. I'd like to see that fight without question. Terrier is 38. Canelo smashing. He's 36, isn't he? Paul Mia says, I love this channel, mate. Honestly, I cannot even close to see causing an upset against Canelo. Please comment on it. Who? Paul Mia, who do you see causing upset against Canelo? Fury is the gypsy and broken bone won't stop him answering the bell. Manny Pacquiao v Henry Armstrong. The eras are so wide apart. I'll go Manny Pacquiao. Manuel Barrera. I want to see Charlo v Daniel Jacobs. That's a good fight. That's a very good fight. Years ago, they both had like a face-to-face, and it was great. You know, they were both went back and forth. That would be a good fight. I'd like to see that fight. That would be actually a good fight. I would like to see it. I would like to see that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Definitely like to see that. Yeah. I want to see him take on Jacobs, because I think that would be a fight that would be a 50-50 fight. I think Jacobs is good, but Jacobs in his last fight didn't look too good against Rosado. So that would be a fun fight, if I'm honest with you. That would be a fun fight. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, to be honest with you. That would be fun. Gail says, I'm excited about Linares v Haney. I think Linares might be a little past it. But who knows? Maybe that fight lives, maybe that Linares can roll back the years and maybe give us a great fight. Who knows? Jessica says, I don't think GG won the first fight. I think the strategy was the problem. When Eddie changed the strategy in round 10, he told Canelo to fight in the center, and we all saw how Canelo was winning. I don't know. I think the first fight, I think Canelo, I think you can make a case for GG winning that. The second fight, I had Canelo winning that. It was a great fight, though. Seriously, Fury demolishes AJ. I would favor Fury in that fight. Demolishes, I don't know, but I would favor him. I don't know whether he demolishes AJ. I don't think Fury would be demolishing AJ. How long can you go without food, Imran? Well, we can't. I can't. I think the fast opens today about 8:43. So from about 3 in the morning to 8:40 in the evening. So Beterbiev, old man, 38 years of age, 30 years old, and way past his prime. Plus, got knocked down by Callum Johnson. Yeah, he sure was knocked down by Callum Johnson. But yeah, he's also knocked everyone out as well, so he's dangerous. Boxing Pigeon said, I watched Billy Joe 30 of us in a barbershop here, Rock, Birmingham, and we colours wanted Billy to win. He got destroyed. Yeah, he got hit with that huge uppercut, and that was it. A British fighter loses on foreign soil. That is no surprise. Overhyped British fighters are, come on. I don't think they're overhyped. Love this channel. Thank you, Paul Mia. Honestly, I can see a Eubank coming even close to causing an upset against Canelo. Please comment. I don't think Eubank, honestly, Paul, I don't think Eubank could cause an upset against Canelo. Just being honest, I don't. I don't see that at all, to be honest with you. I don't see that at all. So Nacon Aguila says that's why they say all about Canelo's opponents, and when it comes, they lose. Yep. Boxing Pigeon said Billy was a clown, man. I'm disappointed in him. I expected more. Depends what you were expecting. I wasn't expecting a lot, so for me, he did well. Ronald the Gypsy King is going down. Joshua is different beast that will give Fury problems. And don't get me wrong, I love Fury, but that's just what I think. Fair enough. Boxing Pigeon says AJ will stop Fury after I saw last night, and I like Fury to win. Why do you say he stops Fury? Eubank can't do anything, just BJS fight between them. That would be a good fight, man. I'd like to see that fight. Ash 89. Shame of injury to BJS. He was well in that fight. Only if he had better preparation fighting top guys before Canelo. Yeah, I'd agree. He hasn't had great preparation at all. So I don't think he's very well prepared. So about 30 of us lost over 20,000 on Billy last night. Lost over $20,000. Wow. Come on, guys. You shouldn't be gambling that much. Walter, I lost £70 on Billy. I feel for you, bro. Lost at 400. I had 50 on the draw. I thought they would gift him a draw after being able to nail down Billy, and £20 for a Billy win. Draw was one that, wow. Rome. Only fighter that can beat Canelo is Errol Spence at 160. By that time, Canelo could be declining, and Errol in his prime, perhaps 3 to 4 years. I don't think that fight's a possibility, if I'm honest. I don't think Canelo would entertain that fight. And I don't know whether Errol Spence will move up to 160 yet. Yeah, that's a very, very steep jump against a very, very big, very, very big puncher. So, yeah, I don't know whether that would be a wise move at all. But, Mortality Fatal, we told you 3 days ago he'd find a way to get knocked out. Yeah. He got hit with that punch, and that changed the course of the fight. So D. Murray says Beterbiev is a beast even at his old age. One mention about fighting him. No one mentioned about fighting him. Yeah, because they all know how dangerous Beterbiev is. Beterbiev is a problem. He's dangerous. He's dangerous, Beterbiev. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, that's a tough fight. We answer that question. So Mortality Fatal says Brook at least came out of one round. Was only matter of time before he was going to go good night. But now he's got the excuse. I predicted he'd just say I was unlucky. No, you're not unlucky. You lost. Where are you in the UK, bro? I'm in East Midlands. So Fury beats AJ. AJ focuses too much on power and doesn't really have great boxing skills. Fury conditioning was more often an issue. So Fury beats AJ. Yeah, I think I would agree. I think Fury does beat AJ. Imran, where is your brother Salman? Where is your mate or brother? My brother Salman. My Salman's my brother. He did the post fight video with me. He thought Billy Joe had a great chance of winning, but when he saw that fight, he realized that Canelo was in a league of his own, and he realized that, you know what, he got it wrong. He got it wrong, and he went out of left field picking Billy Joe to win, but Billy Joe unfortunately couldn't get through. I thought he put up a valiant effort. Unfortunately, when you're up against one of the best in the world, it's very difficult to win. It's very, very difficult to win because Canelo, like I said, he neutralizes you. And even if he doesn't, he finds a big shot, or he finds a way to turn the course of the fight. He finds a way to turn the tide of the fight. Canelo Alvarez is a really difficult fighter to beat. He's going to be a very, very difficult fighter for anybody to beat. Okay, who was Frank Sanchez's fight? But who has Frank Sanchez? Should be on YouTube. So AJ is the better boxer. Okay, AJ is the better boxer. What then? Tyson Fury? Do you reckon AJ is the better boxer out of him and Fury? I don't think so. I think Fury is the more versatile. He's got more wrinkles to him. Not every dog can draw well. BJS can draw a wolf. BJS could prob handle Andrade, to be honest. That'd be a good fight, Marcus. That'd be a very good fight. You know, I know him and Canelo had this back and forth, but that would be a very, very good fight. BJS and Andrade. I would love to see that fight. I think that would be a great matchup. Great matchup. I think that would be a matchup for the fans, that would be a huge fight. I'd like that fight for sure. I would definitely like that fight. Definitely like that fight. I would like to see it. I'd definitely like to see it. Yeah. I'd love to see them two have a scrap. Mr. Ish says Eubank laughing shows how much immature he is. Where does his BJS go from here? Can he come back? So Eubank laughing, I thought it was kind of a disgrace. He should have showed more humility, humble. You don't know when you're going to be in that situation. As a fighter, you could be in that position one day. Where does BJS go from here? He goes back down to middleweight and fights the middleweight champions. There's some big fights out there for middleweight, super middleweight. Firstly, there's no fights out there for him, and secondly, I don't think he's big enough. I don't think he's a super middleweight. I think he's naturally a middleweight. I think that's his weight, and that's what I think he should go. I think he should go back down to super middleweight and fight back at super middle. I think that would be a great fight. Great fights at middleweight. I think there's Charlo, there's Golovkin, there's Andrade, there's Eubank, there's Murata. There's some good fights for Billy Joe down at those weights. So I'd like to see him there. Can he come back? Yeah, I believe he can come back. He needs to obviously rest up, rest that eye, and hopefully that eye socket gets better, and then we see Billy Joe Saunders back in the ring sometime, next year. D. Murray says, I think Canelo should take the Andrade fight. His style beats Andrade. Stay away from Charlo, though. Oh, why do you think his style's not right for Charlo? What do you think Charlo does so good that Canelo won't be able to counter? I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think that would be just as good a fight. The KO was brutal. Yeah, the punch was brutal. He ain't dangerous, bro. Trust me. Canelo looked jaded, being in this 5 years long break, in my opinion. Spence is much bigger than Canelo. He could adjust with weight and move up like Canelo, but I doubt he will. He never That will never happen. Canelo's not Spence isn't bigger than Billy. I mean, Spence isn't bigger than Canelo. Canelo's way bigger than Spence. Way bigger. Canelo, yeah, maybe height-wise. Don't look at it height-wise. Body-wise, Canelo's massive. So no, I don't think that fight's realistic. Let's look for some questions. So Canelo will destroy Andrade. I don't think Andrade could beat Canelo. I don't see it. Yeah, Canelo. I don't see Andrade beating Canelo either. I think Andrade's too. I mean, I don't see Andrade beating Canelo. I think Canelo's too powerful. He punches too hard, and I think he'll get to. I think he'd get to. He'd definitely, for me, get to Andrade. That's just my opinion. Told you, Canelo number one. He surely is. And Canelo might not really looking back. I mean, fighter of this year. Yep. Hearn said last night there's a big news coming next week. Surely it's Fury Joshua. I hope so. I'll be very happy if that fight gets announced. It'd be big, it'd be a huge fight, and it'd be a fight that we'll all be interested in as boxing fans. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we're going to get what we've been wanting to hear for a very long time. And that's the fight between Fury and Joshua. You know, it's the fight that everyone wants to see. And it's a huge, huge night. It's a huge, huge fight. And one that we would all like to see. So yeah, hopefully they can make it happen. Hopefully they can make it happen. Guys, I'm going to call it a day. I've got to get ready for fast. I'm absolutely shattered and knackered. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday. And I will do another live stream then, depending on what news there is. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great live stream, over 2 hours, a long live stream. I appreciate everyone in the live stream. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Smash that like button. And I'll see you all. I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream, whenever you guys turn up. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone that was in the live stream. Appreciate it, guys. See you later. See you later, Richard. Take care. Take care, everyone. Wish you all the best. Stay safe. And I'll see you all in the next live stream or the next in the next video. Take care, everyone. Take care and have a great day. Blue cheese, please. Are you from Luton? No, I'm not from Luton. I'm from Leicester. Blue cheese, no, please. Yes, I'm from Leicester, from East Midlands. But yeah, take care, guys. Take care, and I'll see all of you in the next live stream. Take care, Charlie. Take care, Dutch. Spence can come up to middleweight easily. You guys are not living in reality. He could come up, but it could be dangerous as well. He could definitely come up. I'm not saying he can't, but it could be dangerous as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Leave your thoughts, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next live stream. Take care. Take care. Fantasy fight Pacquiao v Roberto Duran. Manny Pacquiao wins for me. But take care, everyone. Laters, Walter. I'll see you guys